Hello friends, myself Ashmeet Kaur. Today we will discuss the properties of metals and non-metals. So topics to study are introduction, physical properties of metals, physical properties of non-metals and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Starting with the introduction. So what are metals? These are the substances which are electropositive in nature and they have tendency to lose the electrons. Being electropositive, they have tendency to lose the electrons. For example, sodium, iron, copper, gold, silver, aluminium, etc. And in first picture we can see there are some pictures of metals, that in a nail the metal is present, iron metal is present, and in case of wires, silver is present some cases, and aluminium wires are also made, and in refrigerators there are also metals are present. For example, silver utensils we use here, and iron is also present. So next is non-metals. They are the substances which are electronegative in nature and they have tendency to gain the electrons. So, for example, carbon, sulfur, iodine, oxygen, and hydrogen. We can get carbon and oxygen from the trees as during their respiration. So, this is how we get non-metals. Next is the physical properties of metals, that what are the physically, how they are physically present in our nature. So first is luster. Metals are in their pure state have luster on their surface. Second is hardness. They are generally hard. Their hardness varies from metal to metal, as we can see in case of steel and silver, their hardness varies with from each other. Malleability. Some metals are beaten into thin sheets. This property is called its malleability. And gold and silver are the most malleable metals. And another malleable metal is aluminium. We can see as we have aluminium foils. So this is due to its malleability. It is drawn into thin sheets. Next is ductility. The ability of metal to be drawn into thin wires is called ductility. As malleability is the ability to drawn into thin sheets, and ductility is we can draw the metal into thin wires. So gold is the most ductile metal. So next is the good conductor of heat. Metals are good conductor of heat, as we use utensils to cook our food. So these are the good conductor of heat. Next is high melting point. Metals have high melting and boiling point, as we see in case of metal we can consider, and when we boil it, it will take a longer time. So these have high melting and boiling point. As we use steel during cooking, so it get heated, but it do not burn for a time. So it has its very high melting point, so it we use these utensils to cook food. And tungsten is the highest melting point metal that is present in the bulb, and sodium and potassium have low melting point. Next is the good conductor of electricity. They conduct electricity very good, so they are the good conductor of electricity, as we use aluminium wires also. So these are the good conductor of electricity. Sonorous. Sonorous means they produce ringing sound. Some metals produce sound, so they are sonorous. High density. Metals have high density and are very heavy. So due to its high density, they appear heavy to us. And iridium has the highest density among all metals, and lithium has the lowest density. Next is the physical properties of non-metals. Till now we discuss about metals. Now we will discuss the physical properties of non-metals. These are totally opposite to the metal property. So as metals are luster, so non-metals are non-luster, and they are not porous and non-malleable. They cannot run into thin sheets. and not ductile. They cannot run into thin wires, and they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. They are very soft and they have low density. So metals have high density and non-metals have low density. um, Still there are some exceptions to metal and non-metal physical properties, and we will discuss these now. Mercury is the only metal to exist as liquid at room temperature. All metals exist as solid, but there is an exception that mercury, being metal, it exists as liquid. And metals have high melting point, but gallium and cesium have low melting point. So these are the two exceptions in case of metals. Iodine is non-metal that has luster. Being non-metal, it should not have luster, but it has luster. So it is the exception in case of iodine. And diamond is the hardest natural substance known and has very high melting and boiling point. Diamond is the non-metal, but still it is very hard and high melting and boiling point. So these are some exceptions in case of metal and non-metal. Next is the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. First we will discuss the reaction of metal with oxygen, and then we will discuss the reaction of the non-metal with oxygen. So when metal react with oxygen, they form metal oxide. For example, magnesium is a metal. When it react with O2 oxygen, it will form MgO, that is magnesium oxide. And second, in case of iron, when it is also metal, when it react with oxygen and in presence of water, that is H2O, it will form FeOH3, iron hydroxide. And on dehydration, this iron hydroxide converted into Fe2O3 dot NH2O, that is the rust. So this is how the rusting of iron takes place. So metal oxides that are formed when reaction of metal with oxygen occurs, and these are basic in nature. Basic means when these react with any acid, these form salt. Next is the reaction of non-metal with oxygen. When it combined with oxygen, it also form oxides, and these oxides are acidic. So as the metal oxides are basic and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. And some reactions are sulfur. When react with oxygen, it will form sulfur dioxide, that is gas. And carbon, when react with oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide, that is again a gas. And hydrogen, when react with oxygen, it will form water molecule. Next is reaction with water. With water, only metals react. Non-metals do not react with water. And whenever the metal react with water, it will form metal oxide, and that metal oxide react again with water and form metal hydroxide. This is how metal react with water. So not all metal react with water, only some metals react with water. For example, some reactions are there. First is sodium. When react with water, it will form NaOH and H2 gas is evolved. Calcium, when react with cold water, it will form CaOH2 and H2 is evolved. Magnesium, when react with hot water, it will form MgOH2. Next, aluminium and iron are the metals which do not react with water, but they react with steam, that is the gaseous form of water. When aluminium and iron react with steam, they form aluminium form Al2O3 and H2 is evolved, and iron form Fe3O4 and H2 is evolved out. And next is copper, gold, etc. do not react with water. So these are some metals, that is Pu, Pb, Cu, Ag and Au do not react with water. And as I have told you earlier that non-metals do not react with water. So reaction with acids. Different matter react differently with acids. Whenever the metal react with acid, it will form salt and H2 gas is evolved out. For example, magnesium when react with dilute HCl, it will form salt MgCl2 and H2 is evolved out. So the reactivity order of metals is magnesium, then aluminium, then zinc, iron and copper. Copper do not react with dilute hydrochloric acid, so it is the least reactive with acids. Some reactions are when gold, that is Au, react with aqua regia. This is the acid which is a mixture of HNO3 and HCl, so it is called aqua regia. So it will form AuCl4 negative, that is anion, and NO2 plus H3O positive, that is again a ionic form, and water is evolved out. Next is an acid, that is nitric acid. It is a strong oxidizing agent. When magnesium react with dilute HNO3, it will form MgNO3 2, H2 is evolved out, and when magnesium react with moderate HNO3, it will form MgNO3 2 again, and N2 2NO and 4 molecules of water are evolved out. And when same magnesium react with concentrated HNO3, it will form MgNO3 2 again, and NO2 and water is evolved out. In this case, we can see that magnesium react with all three forms of nitric acid, but copper is the only metal that only react with concentrated HNO3 and form the ions of copper, that is Cu2 positive. So only copper only react with concentrated HNO3, and magnesium can react with all these three. And non-metals generally do not react with acids. Next is the reaction with bases. When matter react with base, they produce hydrogen gas, that is H2. So whenever the metal, that is zinc, react with base, that is NaOH, and it will form salt, that is Na2ZnO3, that is sodium zincate, and H2 is evolving out, hydrogen gas is releasing. And when aluminium, that is metal that react with NaOH, it will form H2, it will when aluminium react with base, that is NaOH, in presence of water molecule, it will form sodium aluminate, that is NaAlO2. So and again H2 is evolved out. Oxides of non-metal react with base to form salt and water. Here non-metal directly not react with base, but their oxides react with base to form salt and water. So non-metal, that is non-metal oxide, that is CO2, when react with base, that is NaOH, it will form salt, that is Na2CO3, and water is released out. And carbon dioxide when react with CaOH, that is base, it will form CaCO3 and water is evolving out. Next is the displacement reactions. This is again an interesting to know that how the displacement occurs. So displacement is reaction give better evidence about the reactivity of the metals. In case of metals, more reactive metal displace less reactive metal. So for example, when iron is added into the solution of CuSO4, as we can see in the picture, so iron displace the copper metal. So what will iron form? It will form FeSO4, and the color of the solution will change. So this show the displacement reaction occurring here. Again, where we can see this in case of zinc. When zinc is added into CuSO4 solution, the color of the solution again changes. So why it is changes? Because zinc displaces the copper and form ZnSO4. So here metal A, when added into the salt solution of B, so it will convert the salt solution B into salt solution of A, plus metal B is released out. So this is the displacement reactions. Thank you.